Welcome to my Summer Major Rookie Walkthrough video. My name is Matthew, and in this video I will walk you through the shots I will use and some of the possible alternatives that we will see on the Southern Pines course. This is a guide and is not meant as the absolute solution, but more like a starting place to begin your note-taking process and help you prepare for the tournament. Play according to your clubs, balls, and skill level. Please remember that this walkthrough does not feature the actual tournament wind we will see, as that will only be known once the tournament begins. Let's get into it. We begin the tournament with the newly redesigned hole number 1. Sadly, I've only played this hole the one time that you see here. I do believe that there is a second shot rough bump on the right side with perhaps a Goliath, but I chose to play the left side route. I used 10% downhill elevation with the drive. Now, if playing with an extra mile 6 or more, I would use maximum topspin and maximum left spin. As well, I would consider a kingmaker here for the added left spin and even a little bit of left curl. The idea is to give ourselves a nice angle of approach to the pin by being past the green side bunkers. You can see those bunkers there just between us and our intended landing position. So, as you can see here, I did not travel far enough down the first fairway, so the bunkers are still in my way. But luckily there's a little gap in the middle, and with a little precision, we're still able to play from this position. Now, I hit my spot here at 10% downhill elevation, playing this route, but ideally our approach would be to the left of these bunkers and not precariously between them. I'm guessing that the right side of this hole might end up as the most popular route, but with a little bit longer and more left drive than mine, we definitely do have a clear shot here at the pin for eagle. Here on hole number 2, the first par 3 of the tournament, I decide to take the direct at the pin rough bump approach. I do think that this is a perfect example of a spin 4 or 5 hole where we bounce to the fairway on the left and roll up to the hole. However, I really like the opportunity of this rough bump setup. I used 1 bar of backspin and my Viper at max distance. However, it does look like it's about 75% on the slider here. The bottom edge of the inner green ring is just touching the bunker with the ball guide to the pin. I'm most certain that this will be the route I play in the tournament. No need to use more than a navigator here, as I entered the hole from a par 5 with this Titan ball. To me, there are 2 main ways to play this hole from the front tee, and I will demonstrate both. The first option on hole 3 is to play the left side fairway. I bring the extra mile and a power 3 ball such as a Titan. You could bring a P5 ball here, honestly, if you have one to spare. Apply maximum topspin and a bar or so of left spin, being aware that the fairway slopes left to right, and also being aware of the fairway trees up near the intended landing position of our second shot. So play this drive near the left edge of the second fairway to give a nice angle with your upcoming wood. And I adjusted this shot here for 10% elevation, downhill elevation. I would definitely say that this shot here should be played with your wood club that has the maximum amount of distance and topspin, such as the big dog. If you are able to reach over the water with your landing position here and roll up even closer to the green, that's absolutely the desired outcome. However, this bounce over the lazy river and up to the final piece of fairway, it does set us up for a decent short iron shot to the pin. Certainly a shot here, considering you'll take a look, a little bit extra side spin to the right with a kingmaker could be helpful for some players, but Titan is certainly sufficient. And I played each of these 3 shots with 10% elevation, but I suspect this third shot here could definitely be played at 0%. Now, obviously, this isn't the most guaranteed eagle out there, but for some players, the left side offers a comfortingly simple path to the green. maximum right spin here, and pick the short iron with the most ball guide and top spin, such as a Hornet if that's a choice in your bag. I had the runner here with me. It worked out okay, but not the easiest eagle, that is absolutely for sure. This method of playing hole 3 is the easiest to score a consistent eagle. However, it is dependent on having a berserker ball and a big topper. Set up this drive aimed directly down the middle of the fairway and be sure to use maximum topspin to roll as far as possible down the fairway. Do your best to hit perfect here, but even a good shot with this massively wide fairway should likely still play safe for the second shot. I do like to approach the green here from the right side, at the right of that big massive bunker in front of the green, and settle somewhere up near the right fringe area for a nice short chip or a mid-distance putt. Maximum topspin, maximum left spin sets me up perfectly with a sniper level 6. A Viper would also play very similarly here. I adjust for 10% downhill elevation. Just be sure to hit perfect with that small gap we're aiming. That's why I like the sniper here. If you have it, that extra bit of accuracy definitely helps to keep it safe. So sadly, really, I don't see an albatross really being a possibility here on hole number 3 at all in rookie. So take your eagle and know that many rookie players will score a birdie or a par on this hole. So, if you do have a method to reach the green and 2 consistently from the front tee with lower level clubs, let me know in the comment section below. I would definitely like to hear about it. But again here, quick little chip, we can get this eagle. The 4th hole is a very good chance for an extra drop. Most players will likely play to the left side of the drive and attempt a rough bump for eagle. I play here at 10% downhill elevation with a quasar ball. Using the extra mile, we apply 4.5 bars of topspin and 4 bars of right spin. Set up with the ball guide close to the fairway bunker, but be careful not to be too close in case of a great shot. No need to overpower here, as we want to put ourselves in sniper or Viper range for the second shot. I play the second shot with 10% downhill elevation and a couple bars of right spin. I've also played this shot successfully with 0 spin and 1-1. You give it a try, see what works for you. Be mindful of the velocity of the wind here and adjust and offset accordingly. Typically, we want that ball guide to be just a little bit left of the hole, as the bounce out of the rough here tends to shoot a little bit to the left of what you see on the ball guide. However, it will depend on the tournament wind that we see on this hole. Always a very good chance for an extra drop here on hole number 4. Good luck. In many hours of playing the newly redesigned holes for practice, I found this one precisely 2 times, and I will show you both attempts. The first shot is the more conservative of the two. I look to approach the hole with a min-distance wood club, such as the Sniper or Viper. I would have loved to have a spin 3 or 4 or 5 ball here in this situation, so I just used the maximum top and left spin that a Marlin ball and a Viper afforded me. The general path coming through from right to left gets you up and down near the hole, but this is mostly going to be a safe birdie here. The rough bump now looks to be the preferred route here on hole number 5. Even with a Marlin and a Viper, we can set up perfectly in max distance at 10% to have an excellent shot at a hole-in-one. A power 2 or 3 ball or a wood with more distance might give us a slightly more consistent landing position here, such as the top of the yellow ring touching the fairway, but this will work for me for now. I did not use any spin for my shot, but a small tick of backspin could be in order, but be sure not to use too much or I'm sure you'll get a dead bounce in this rough and barely make it on the green. Otherwise, we have a really good shot here at a hole-in-one on hole number 5. So I'm sure the way I'm supposed to tell a rookie player how to play this hole is with a power 3 ball and an extra mile straight ahead, and then a big dog with full right curl to get it close to the green. However, I certainly prefer to use a quarterback club here and a Titan. Add 3 bars of right spin, 2 bars of top spin. I line up the ball guide just touching the left edge of the pink bush for this level 7 quarterback, and use maximum overpower and about 90% right curl along with a full slice to set myself up for an unorthodox opportunity for albatross. Since low level snipers do not have enough topspin, and this account did not have a horizon to try, I used the 6 bars of topspin with the big dog and go for a rough bump between the trees to get to green. Add 15% downhill elevation to your adjustment and just cut the rough with about half the red ring. If this approach is not for you, I certainly encourage you to use the standard path as I described at the beginning of this hole. Good luck to you on hole number 6. I think the safest play on hole number 7 is to play down the massive left side fairway. Use your extra mile or even a big topper, and a marlin ball seems to work just fine for me. But you might enjoy a ball with more wind resistance for the second shot. I used maximum topspin and maximum right spin with 10% downhill elevation adjustment to set ourselves up to have a very straightforward second shot. I played the approach to the pin with my backbone in maximum distance, but this might be a very good spot to use your slider and really dial this shot in. I tried 3 bars of backspin and likely should have used a bar or more of left spin in this, left to right wind and to set up further away from the bunker on the left. However, I do feel like this hole and each of the par 4s will be very important eagles for the tournament rounds. Even with this ugly headwind, I wanted to try the play to the right side fairway. Here with an extra mile 6 and a marlin, I aim at the first fairway with 3 topspin and 1 left spin at 10% max to position myself for the second shot. In a tailwind situation, be sure not to overdo the topspin here, as only 1 to 2 bars should likely be sufficient. You don't want to find yourself in a situation where you have rolled yourself into the rough at the end of this easily makeable second fairway. The sensible play here with a backbone would be to bounce on the small circular fairway pad and then safely over the rough for a clear shot at eagle. Yet, being a Golf Clash content creator, I know that the fan favorite play is a rough bump. Bring your Goliath or long iron with the best ball guide here. The backbone is slightly lacking. 2 to 3 bars of topspin max depending on the wind, and I adjusted at 10% downhill elevation. I haven't quite dialed this one in, but a perfect shot would definitely help. I play hole 8 with a quasar ball and a wood club such as a sniper or a viper. Use 10% downhill elevation along with about 3/4 of a bar of topspin and maximum left spin in these tailwind conditions. Of course, if we have a side wind, you'll need less topspin. Set up with the top left of your blue ring dipping in the bunker, but more importantly, the ball guide directly at the pin. Be sure not to use too much topspin here. because of the short distance between the pin and the back rough, you can easily roll right through the green. However, with a delicate touch, this one's in the hole. Hole 9 is a classic golf clash headache. This very long par 5 is a spot where any error in the drive or approach and you stand a high chance of losing a shot or two. In rookie, even a consistent eagle on this hole can actually put you up over the field. The preferred play is with a berserker and big topper. We want to get as much distance as possible with the drive and be sure to play far enough to the left on the second fairway so that we are not blocked by that patch of fairway trees. Use maximum topspin and as much left spin as you can get without taking away any of that precious topspin. Now I always play the second shot in rookie with a big dog, as its distance and topspin is absolutely essential to give us any chance of an eagle. When you are a bit short with the drive as I am here, it is smart to play to the safe fairway gap and roll up to the center of the green, or just hopefully make it to the green and have an eagle putt. Avoid that greenside rough to the left to leave yourself a high probability third shot to secure that ever important eagle. Then we're left here with a simple min distance wedge shot. I like the end bringer. It's a little bit more forgiving as far as accuracy goes. However, whatever you've got in your bag to play in a short greenside situation like this is absolutely more than adequate. I played here with 0% elevation, but I'm sure you could probably just eyeball this one as well. With this example, I want to demonstrate how higher level clubs can make this hole so much more manageable. I set up the drive in a very similar fashion to the first example, with my big topper and a berserker ball. I adjust for the same 10% downhill elevation and add maximum topspin and a couple bars of left spin to position us nicely down the second fairway with just a smidge of overpower. So here we go, 405. A drive of 405 yards leaves us a nice second bounce rough bump with a big dog 6. I play the full 6 bars of topspin on this shot, and a little more would have played nicely too. The idea here is that we can bounce out of the rough and roll with the perfect speed up to the hole for an incredible, albeit low probability albatross. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in to my rookie walkthrough for the Summer Major. If you have any comments or feedback, please leave them in the comment section below and I'll respond as soon as I can. Also, please remember to subscribe now to join Erelic Gaming and not miss out on any of my future content. Good luck.